What started as a confrontation with Iran has taken a startling new turn. Now that threat appears to be moving dangerously close, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida.
Experts warn that battlefield techniques honed by Iran, drone swarms, standoff strikes, and asymmetric targeting, may no longer be limited to distant theaters, potentially arriving at America's own backyard. US intelligence says Havana has quietly amassed an arsenal of roughly 300 drones, supplied by Russia and Iran. According to intercepted reporting, Cuban planners have reportedly wargamed scenarios for striking US ships at sea and targeting coastal areas near Key West. As Iranian advisors and battlefield lessons diffuse across the region, the Trump administration now faces an unexpected and complex challenge. As tensions with Tehran continue to smolder, President Trump is confronting a startling new security concern only about 90 miles from the US coastline. According to US intelligence assessments, Havana has quietly accumulated a fleet of more than 300 attack drones sourced from Russia and Iran. Classified reporting obtained and shared with Axios paints a worrying picture in which Cuban officials reportedly discuss scenarios for using those drones to strike US military. The reported targets are said to include Guantanamo Bay, US naval vessels operating in the region, and even areas around Key West. US officials have described Havana's drone procurement and planning as a growing threat, stressing that while there is no confirmed imminent plot to attack American targets, the trajectory of Cuba's capabilities is increasingly concerning. American intelligence analysts worry that Iranian advisors now operating in Cuba could export battlefield tactics honed during Iran's recent conflicts, teaching Cuban forces how to use swarms, standoff strikes, and asymmetric approaches against US interests. US intelligence says Cuba's acquisition began in 2023 and involved attack drones of varying capabilities. Those systems are reported to have been supplied by Russia and Iran and are now stored at a network of strategically chosen island sites around Cuba. US officials say that within the past month Havana has quietly requested additional drones and supporting equipment from Moscow. Intelligence intercepts indicate Cuban officers are carefully studying Iran's playbook, how Tehran has endured pressure and fought back against US strikes. It's notable that Russia and China have long operated advanced signals intelligence facilities on Cuban soil, infrastructure that could be used to support drone operations. One report even claims as many as 5,000 Cuban soldiers served with Russian forces in Ukraine, where they would have observed and possibly participated in modern drone warfare. Washington officials believe those veterans returned from a Ukrainian front with concrete, hard-won lessons about Iranian and Russian tactics for integrating drones into combined operations. US concerns spiked after Iran's large-scale drone campaigns against US and Israeli targets since February 28, campaigns that showcased how low-cost, massed unmanned systems can inflict damage and complicate defense efforts. Iranian drones have been used to strike US bases and other assets and to pressure shipping in and around the Strait of Hormuz. American planners now fear those same low-cost, hard-to-stop tactics could be copied and adapted in the Caribbean, creating new vulnerability for US ships, bases, and coastal communities. The Axios report comes a week after open flight tracking data and military observers tracked US intelligence flights near Cuba since early February. Reports say at least 25 reconnaissance missions by manned aircraft and drones have flown close to Havana and Santiago in recent months, a tempo higher than usual peacetime patrols. Many of those sorties have reportedly come within roughly 40 miles of Cuba's coastline, a range well suited to vacuum up detailed signals, radar, and communications intelligence. The aircraft mix has included P-8A Poseidon patrol jets, RC-135V Rivet Joint electronic intelligence planes, and high-altitude MQ-4C Triton spy drones, all designed for persistent surveillance. Analysts note similar reconnaissance patterns appeared before US actions in Venezuela and Iran under Trump, when intelligence flights ramped up ahead of sanctions escalations and limited strikes. In Venezuela, recon flights surged after US forces hit a vessel allegedly linked to Nicolas Maduro's networks, a reminder that spy missions can be both a precursor and a follow-up to pressure moves. In the Iran theater, a broader mix of US and Israeli aircraft surveilled coasts and key sites before joint operations, suggesting Washington likes to build a thick intelligence picture before acting. Now, with the same families of aircraft turning up off Cuba, many are asking whether this is just cautious mapping of a crisis, or the early echo of a familiar escalation pattern aimed at another US adversary.